Hinduism has long been a victim of its own ideas. The concept of man and his relationship with nature form the basic aspect of Sanatan Dharma. The ideas to ask questions, seek knowledge, and to never bow before oppression or idiocy first gave Hindu Dharma a wide reach. But this very ideology gave them oppression too. In the name of Abrahamic religions, Sanatan has been attacked and abused since millennia. The ideas of freedom of thought and speech, the ability to question everything, are the natural Sanatan way of life. Humanity and nature are interconnected, and nowhere else do we find a beautiful and coherent balance between the two, save for Sanatan. Vedas are a treatise on human wisdom, and all of them help a human to understand his role and place in this Brahman, thereby enabling him to utilize his life in the fullest possible way. Sanatan's astute understanding of this interconnectivity stems from millennia of societal existence and saw it reach far-off places in Europe and Asia. The Indian subcontinent prospered so much during the so-called Dark Ages in Europe that when humans in Europe were figuring out metal crafting, the Indus civilization was a roaring success of 2 million people living in cities with paved roads and indoor plumbing. This extreme example goes on to show the extent of prosperity and the gap between the Indo and European civilizations. With the advent of Abrahamic religions, India, and especially Sanatan, became a prime target amongst the Eurasian civilizations, primarily because of material reasons. They were always veiled under the beautiful facade of spreading religion, but they all had the rich order of India in their mind. In short, Sanatan has seen its glory days, as well as has seen and survived the horror of Abrahamic religions and slavery, only to come out alive and well. This fabulous resilience can once again be attributed to the deep level of knowledge and morality of Sanatan. The history of Sanatan is as ancient as humankind itself. The concept of dharma encompasses one's duties towards the environment he or she is present in. We should notice that this very concept saw the emergence of great rulers and kingdoms across the Indian subcontinent that all were tied together with this bond of Sanatan. 2000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, Indian subcontinent was a huge civilization stretching across parts of Europe and all of Asia. 200 years before the birth of Muhammad, Indian King Vijay had his architects construct 30-story high rock temples in South Asia. The question is, what happened to the glorious civilization and its people? With the advent of Islam, the Indian subcontinent was under attack for the very first time. Islamic barbarians from the deserts of Middle East were out to spread Islam by sword, and India bore the brunt of their invasions. Countless men, women, and children died at the hands of these invaders just because they refused to leave their dharma. The invaders plundered India for centuries and established colonies in India whereby they ruled as agents of the Islamic Khalifa. Brutalities and atrocities on followers of Sanatan Dharma were used as a tool to subjugate them under Islam. Many did break and accept it, but the majority never accepted this just because Sanatan taught them to ask questions, whereas Abrahamic religions, especially Islam, thrive on followers not asking questions. Ironically, this teaching cost them their lives at the hands of Islamists, but they did not surrender or show weakness. Hindu Urjaa seeks to bring back the lost glory of Sanatan to whole of India. Our motto, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah, asks us as followers of Sanatan to stop the current societal, mental, ideological and intellectual degradation of India brought on by decades of self-loathing taught to Indians by the Islamists and the British. We seek to spread the ideas of Sanatan, prevent ideological sabotage by the Abrahamic religions, reinterpret the societal structure of the Hindu society, and enlighten our future generations about our glorious history and past. During the current scenario, decades of twisted political moves have resulted in a fragmented Hindu society. Our first aim, therefore, is to work towards abolishment of caste divide among the Sanatan followers. Caste has been the twisted product of political mind since the last thousands years in Sanatan history, and it has only resulted in losses for the Dharma. It, therefore, needs to be banished, and the Hindus need to stand together. Our second objective would be to remove the Islamic grip over our current local economies. This shall be achieved by changing such one-sided policies through our political interventions. Our efforts towards creating networked markets and trading platforms where our brothers and sisters can trade easily and are free from the clutches of the halal mafia. Our third objective would be to ensure the protection of Hindu women and girls from the evil of Islamic influences like love jihad and other such mind-altering methods used by the Islamists to damage our children and propagate nefarious activities. This would involve reaching out to our girl child and teaching her about our glorious Sanatan virtues, and also make her aware of the dangers posed by these Islamists. Our fourth objective would be to weed out the poison of secularism, which itself reeks of Catholic origins and has been used as a tool to degrade Hindus ever since India gained independence. This also brings us to the fact that leaders of today have at least now recognized this problem and are trying to take steps against it. Our vision would be to assist such leaders and to create new, highly educated leaders who can take Sanatan back to its glory days. Our fifth objective is the ultimate achievement of Akhand Bharat, whereas the old map of India, with its territories now lost to the Islamists, comes back again as it used to be in the glory days of Sanatan. Our strive would be towards helping the propagators of Sanatan, thereby staunchly opposing the degradation known as Abrahamic religions by political, ideological, financial, and ethical means. We at Sanatan Dharma propose the following as our roadmap for the same. Number 1. Systematic work towards eliminating the caste system among Hindus in India. This has been used as an ultimate tool by politicians and Islamists to divide our masses and create tension. Number 2. Re-establishment of compulsory Vedic education, along with the modern scientific approach and making Sanskrit compulsory in schools and colleges. Point number 3. Providing e-commerce platforms through launching mobile applications and websites that ease the purchase and sale of goods and services amongst the followers of Sanatan. Number 4. Generation of new employment opportunities by providing prospective employers and employees a means of interaction through e-job portals. This will service and connect fellow members of Sanatan. Point number 5. Providing emergency help facilities and communal SOS services for the Sanatan community. This will enable the members to be guarded against and to receive immediate help in times when Islamists try to harm the society through unlawful activities such as riots and gang violence. Point number 6. Restoration of Sanatan Dharma temples and places of worship and education, which have been subject of utter neglect and destruction during the wretched period of Islamic invasion and subsequent secularism. Point 7. A complete blanket ban on cow slaughter across all states in India. The crime shall be petitioned to be made equal to treason and punishable by the death penalty. Point number 8. Provide legal counseling and help for the victims of Islamic atrocities, including love jihad, land grabbing, and other such activities, by giving them access to legal help without any charges. Point number 9. Establishment of a legal wing to challenge every such anti-Hindu piece of literature in our legal framework, for it has been done immeasurable damage to Sanatan over a period of the last 73 years. Point number 10. To petition and fast-track the process of making laws such as Anti-Conversion, Population Control Act, Uniform Civil Code, etc. Point number 11. Making sure that all religious organizations come under the financial scanner of the government equally. We also aim to nurture potential civil servants and leaders to take the responsibility in their own hands when they assume their positions in the administration. Point number 12. To petition for and change the historical documents and school curriculum to reflect the true history of Bharat, instead of the lies being fed to generation of Indians about the glory of barbarians known as Mughals and colonial masters known as the British. Point number 13. To create awareness among the members of Hindu Dharma regarding our religious aspects and teachings through encouraging them to gather at temples at least once in a week to seek religious discourse and knowledge. Point number 14. restoration of revenue recognition methods from pre-Mughal era, and doing away with the vestiges of Islamic slavery from our culture and records by reverting back to usage of indigenous words and terminology for financial and geographical transactions. Ladies and gentlemen, Hindu Urjaa, as the name suggests, is for restoring the dormant Urjaa that lies in every Hindu by dusting off the cobwebs of Abrahamic religions, slavery, and nonsensical secularism. We believe that you shall acknowledge our thoughts and would contribute your best towards re-establishing Ram Rajya. Jai Shri Ram.